Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Greetings everyone. Well, it's time to get back on streaming again, I guess. So yeah, this is the I'm already in my new place, new job, whatever. I don't think I need to explain anymore. But I guess long story short, I will be streaming for less time. I'll try to keep it consistent. It's probably not gonna be daily. I hope. I wish I had like daily. I wish I had enough stamina to go through and stream daily, but I don't think I will. I'll be able to. Uh, well, let's see what happens. So this stream, I guess I will just, you know, plan ahead things that I want to be doing, especially when I'm already on the idea of doing things uh, for the long run, I guess. So hello Eth, welcome to the stream. So let's get back to drawing, I guess. Either drawing or I don't know, planning a little bit. So I hope it's working because I'm on a different uh, internet provider, so hopefully it's not lagging or anything. It's supposed to be just fine. Hopefully it's just fine. But I don't know. Has been a while, so what do I want to do? Let's start with that. Then, not really sure what I want to be doing for the long run. I mean, I know, but uh, I feel like I don't want to be honest with myself to the point of exploring that much, especially when I feel like most of them will not be satisfied um, the way that I want. So I have to be clever in this way. So mostly just thinking about um, time will pass, and I have to draw the things that I want to be drawing or doing the things that I want to be doing, anyways. And I guess life will demand a lot of things from me that are not drawing or doing art or anything like that uh, for the foreseeable future. But hopefully, I can make something out of it. Um, so, keeping that in mind, I'll try to think about a couple of ideas that I had and try to explain them, I guess, and try to make them make sense of them, and just take an action next stream or just drawing just a little bit. So I guess for the first part, I feel like the most obvious uh, direction that I could give to myself is basically just drawing, just draw, and not worry. Don't worry, actually. Worry about achieving. It's not like it's not like I don't wanna achieve something. It's more like worry, right? This is the most important part, which is the worry, being anxious about achieving something. So by just drawing and doing the most of my time drawing instead of thinking about drawing or thinking about the structure of drawing, perhaps that would be a better choice compared to any other ideas that I'll be having here later, because it's actionable, right? It's something that you can do and keep doing. Um, but it's not like, I feel like most of it has to come from a place where you don't expect anything from drawing, right? You just expect it to be fun while drawing. It's just an enjoyable hobby, instead of expecting to get better or expecting to to finish anything, I guess. But if I just draw, I'll be finishing things anyways. And if I practice enough, I'll be I'll be evolving in drawing, right? Just making sure that I'm uh, getting better at my skill, applying my techniques. Hmm. So I think this is probably the most reasonable uh, idea to have, to just draw, to just go with like streaming and just immediately just draw something that I want. It doesn't seem that bad, but mm, I feel like I have to think about the underlying uh, negative parts of it, right? Um, it's like stagnation, maybe uh, lack of ambition. I don't know. Hello, Silver Comet. Welcome to the stream. I'm just thinking about what to do now, and I will be just rambling on this stream, I guess. Perhaps just drawing might be the better idea. Just doing things that I want, just describing the things that I want to be drawing, and develop them. Um, I guess I did that when I started, you know, uh, when I started drawing back then, but I wasn't like planning on drawing anything original, especially when I didn't have, or I didn't believe that I had something to say. So, so you're just gonna say ideas you want? Probably just planning some stuff ahead, or just thinking about the direction that I want to be taking things, especially when I have a limited time, right? I guess I have like 2 hours of 2 hours a day to just do stuff, until I need to just go to work and to, chores and stuff, adult stuff. Unfortunately, so I'll be doing that, but mm, so I have to come up with like a different strategy instead of, you know, just mm, different strategy of, it's like there's like this desire of thinking about a strategy that could maximize the output, but I don't think that's the best idea, right? I don't think that would work anyways. That's probably the concoction of a burnout, professionally and a hobby burnout, which is not really great. Um, and especially when I'm already like kind of excluded from my family. Not that I'm basically working somewhere outside my family's city, so I'm kind of I'm still kind of lonely. Uh, so I'm working alone on things and just doing things for myself, and uh, taking care of myself. And that's also another thing that is taking a toll on me. Um, so I feel like just drawing would be a better a better approach uh, for now, and maybe later I could kind of pivot to something that is a bit more structured, something like I did last time, like studies and projects, especially projects, because projects are pretty nice to finish them and just you have something that is already concrete, and that's basically the idea that I want to be doing. Uh, that to create things, right? Not to imagine things. I already imagine a lot of things in my mind, and there's no point of just just vegetating on my on my bed and just thinking about things and instead of doing them. So don't worry about achieving and don't expect much, I guess. Expect achieving, just raw. Just don't. It's more like worrying, right? Um, so to describe the things that I did back then, a year ago, I was like grinding, right? I was grinding, art grind. I'm not really sure if I'm YouTube stuff is working actually. Oh, this one. I don't think it's working. No, showing. No, why is that happening? For some reason, the chat is not working here. Visible? Why is not visible? I guess I will just sort that out later. Can't be looking at that right now. Guess later when I finish stream. I guess I will be looking at that. Why? It's kind of weird. Video ID is not found. Damn it. Oh, it's probably because it's not. Hmm. They didn't spend a lot of time. Yeah. Guess I'll just work on that later. Right. Let's continue. So back then, I was doing an art grind, and with an art grind, you just grind a lot. You just doing like uh, a bunch of practice, I guess, going through some tutorials and trying to think about how to get better, right? Uh, it's just that it takes a toll on you. It's just it doesn't make you produce a lot of things that matter. I guess the problem that I had with like art grind, or I tried to minimize, was that I wasn't like making a lot of stuff. Meaningful stuff. And I wasn't, hmm, there was that feeling of not enough. Is it right? Hmm. It's just a feeling, right? It's like consistent, but it's not. Mm, I feel like everything that that I was like complaining on Art Grind was mostly just that I wasn't doing something meaningful from it. It was mostly just to kind of massage uh my virtuous ideas of getting better at art and getting technical with it instead of really tackling with the lack of creativity that I had uh or the fear of just creating things or just being a failure, I guess. And throughout the end of the art grind, when I was like making that roadmap, I was like trying to come with an idea of roadmap that I would fail my final test. Must. I will. I'll fail my expectations. I was just making a portfolio, which was the thing that I was looking for. And it's like fan arts in due time. Because I wasn't fast enough and I wasn't skilled enough. And I also had pretty bad measuring skills to be like thinking about uh, how to fulfill my creative ideas, I guess. So I'll just open this one. So, but yeah, whatever. Uh, so yeah, like I was pursuing a nice portfolio for work and just, you know, grinding the technical stuff. But now I have less time, and so I have to think about the meaningful stuff, I guess. Um, and it's just so hard to just get around that idea of just having less time, less energy, but now having the means to support myself instead of just leeching off my parents and uh, just living a life where I'm constantly just on the stage of uh, I'm capable, but I'm not really showing things enough, I guess. And that kind of takes a toll mentally, right? So now it's like a different challenge, I guess. I was just thinking about the uh, direction because I was like mostly just thinking about the strategy where I uh would be just honing my skills, and then I would explore that skill to the point of being able to show it to people so I can, you know, live off of it. But no, it's like, you know, it's more like I have to think about the things that are meaningful to me, kind of let that simmer in, and then later just bring them to life instead of thinking about the strategy to to make it financially viable, I guess. So uh, that was kind of a whiplash of things, of expectations that I had back in, the beginning of the year, and a lot of things happened as well that didn't really help me in a kind of a fragile emotional state. So I guess getting back into uh, let's describe this as best. Best. So this is the best. This could be the now, future. Describe it later. Things that I expect, right? Um. So I guess I could describe it as a buff or a debuff. So I have the buff of being employed, kind of self-sufficient. How, how do I write this? Uh, I don't want to say that I have enough time because I'm employed and it's a 9 to 5, so it takes a lot of time to just plan for the things. So I have like smaller segments of time to work with, and I will have to also sacrifice a lot of sleep if I want to be uh, grinding, I guess, or just spending more time with this. Um, so I guess the buff here is just being like employed and kind of self-sufficient. So the debuff, because this is in the context of art, right? Producing art, and the debuff, lack of time, lack of time, lack of sleep, which is related to lack of time, right? Um, energy, lack of energy, of physical energy. Mm, and I feel like lack of time is the most, you know, it's the strongest one. Lack of time and lack of sleep. And I feel like being employed is the is the greatest buff here. Ah, hmm. So the debuff, other one. Uh oh, there's another one here. Um, better life experiences, right? I feel like that's very important here. Because I guess one of the things that I had like a lot of issue with producing things for myself is the lack of experience that I had in life in general, I guess. And and if I produce art, like fan art, it's easier because it's already like everything is there. You know, you just need to play with the idea of it. You just need to play uh uh with the gimmick, right? With the gimmick, it's already there, with the lore of the character, with the proposition of the character. Um, but to create things, you need a lot of references, and I guess it's we could also do that. You just bring in a lot of different references and just meshing them together. But at the same time, that specific experience in life that has like that, you know, that suffering is more like suffering, happiness, or the life experience of being there. uh, I didn't have that, or I guess a lot of artists don't have that, or don't have the access to do it. So uh, sometimes, like a depiction of things, like a depiction of an interaction, uh, or like the visuals, it's not really matching with reality. It's not even like matching with reality. It's more like it's very uninspiring, I guess, uninspired. So there's also that element of uh, having better life experiences, I guess, because that was exactly the things that I was lacking of with producing, with being like just drawing, right, without like having been employed for so long, and you know, um, not like being like uh being helped by my parents in a way that is like I can't live by myself in that sense, you know. Uh, so I guess those things are already on my way to you know, to happen, uh, to have better life experiences, to being self-sufficient, and also being employed and doing things, you know. Um, so debuff, producing art, the context, producing art. Actually, what's that? Stats or producing art. I guess that's a better explanation of this. Uh, money. Kind of self-sufficient, better life experiences, lack of time, lack of sleep, lack of physical energy, um, lack of mm, how could I describe it? It's more um, um, like I'll be sacrificing a few things for for streaming and doing things that I want to be doing after I come back from home. And one of them is mostly like social media, right? Or just watching stuff or consuming stuff. So literacy, media literacy. I feel like that's my feeling of you know sacrificing a lot of time of screen time or uh, other hobbies to work on the main hobby, which you are more inclined to do, I guess. Um, but I feel like this literacy is less of a concern. It's more like a kind of insecurity of mine, which could be backed up with like better life experiences of living life, right? Because most of it is like watching YouTube videos or watching a piece of media that a lot of people are like watching and they just interact and they have all those ideas behind it, right? They enjoy that show, they enjoy that book, or they enjoy that music or that group. And I feel like uh, the longer I draw, the less of that connection I have with media, right? Because most of the time I'm just drawing and just relating to either like a few pieces of media that resonated with me or just by chance ended up being something that is uh, that makes what I am right now. And one of them is like, I don't know, VTubers or or like other video games. um but it's not like I'm that passionate, I guess, in a way. It's more like I have a commitment to do for some of them, but uh, it's not like I have that type of commitment that is like that important compared to the things that I want to be doing personally, right? My own ideas. So I feel like the debuff of lack of media literacy is more like an insecurity of mine of just trying to know what people are up to. Um, and it's more like a FOMO situation, I guess. FOMO situation, and that FOMO situation is like accentuated by just working, right? Because there's like that FOMO of uh, watching some stuff or uh, viewing something or just listening or reading whatever. Because everyone's like watching what reading Dune or uh, watching like a TV show. Uh, so you have that fear of missing out of it. But there's also that fear of missing out of on drawing, on creating, which is produced by employment, I guess. So there's like kind of a stacked on FOMO for me, which I have to kind of dismantle and realize that most of it is, kind of a security or things that I create for myself that leads me to not doing something, I guess. So I guess uh, that's one of the debuffs, right? FOMO. Drawing and community, I guess. Structure is a pretty good one. Structure, and I wouldn't place because I'm still not used to the routine, but structure and routine. I guess I could place them together here. Yeah, like this. So currently I'm just facing with this. Lack of time, lack of sleep, lack of physical energy, lack of media literacy. Uh, and there's another one that I'm just jealously, jealous. What? Envy. And I don't feel like I could explain that much, but I will try. Um, because most of the envy that I feel is more like uh, I want to be I want to be transforming that in a way that is um, productive, right? That I want to support them instead of envying them without being jealous, of the things that they have. Because they also have their own lives and they also have jobs and things that they have to care and and maybe I'm in a better position to do things, and they're doing. I don't know how they're just doing things, creating like godlike illustrations while having a full-time job, and it's more like I wish I could do that as well, right? It's more like that envy of I want to be just like them. I want to have that opportunity to be like them, and I want to have that productive energy from them instead of just thinking that I'm not capable of doing that, because there's like that if I can't do it, you will be doing it. I guess in that sense. So I don't want to give up in that sense, right? I feel like I still have a lot of energy to just bring to the table and ideas, and uh, I don't feel like uh, just instead of envying them, just try to support them and thinking that I'm unsalvageable, right? In that sense, that I can't do things like other people can do it, other artists can do it, can manage drawing, doing the things that they want while having a second, while having a full-time job, and I can't because I have to work, and my job is so stressful or something like that. Uh, so most of it is personal routine and just working on all all of those things here, but at the same time is I feel like it's psychological, right? Just thinking about that envy that I can't be doing the things that I want in a in such a free way, in such a limitless and timeless like without time limit, I guess. But the irony of it, uh, envy. I'll just place envy, right? But the irony of it is that I had a lot of time, like 5 to 6 years, 6 year already, just living my life in a way that is mostly just drawing every day, and most of it was like, sure, like past couple of years, I spent a lot of time just drawing and doing projects, and I'm quite proud of them, even though they are not like anything to be like, you know, showing off to people, or like something that is like meaningful in a way that changes people's lives. I feel like, but it changed mine, right? So I guess that's the thing that matters the most. But during that time, 5 to 6 years, I was like at home, just doing nothing, uh, just drawing when I feel like, and drawing was the I don't want to say escape, but it was mostly the thing that I would spend most time, most energy of effort. I guess effort is a good word to be highlighting here. To place a lot of effort of putting the work instead of the things that I was like graduating with, or just things that would bring money and prestige to my family or to myself, right? Um, so I feel like that there's like that grief, uh, grief, and buff. I would describe it as um, another buff that I could do. I was like describing grief, but it's more like effort, effort, and motivation. I guess commitment, motivation. Because I'm mostly just, I'm really motivated to get back to streaming and drawing anime girls, the things that I want to be doing, whatever. Um, but you know, it's not like that will be forever, right? As a buff, commitment. But I feel like commitment. How do I write this? Is something that is much higher, um, actually much stronger than uh, effort and motivation. Actually, motivation only, because effort is a pretty good one. It's an action, right? It's commitment is more like almost feels like a spiritual transformation of the thing that I want to be doing, or the things that I feel like it's worth my time. Uh, like, even though I feel like my work currently, it doesn't feel like it's worth my time. Financially, it's pretty good financially, and I can support myself. I can support myself in that way, but it leaves me with almost no time to do the things that I want to be doing, right? So there's like that misalignment of the things that I work with and the things that I want to be doing, right? So, but I guess that commitment of the thing that I want to be doing, especially when I came back. So hopefully I will be here for a long time, or until I can, bring something new, something that actually has uh, a pretty meaningful change, the scheduling of all of this. If I achieve something, I guess, if I win the lottery, maybe. But yeah, guess that's how I would describe it. currently. Grief. I could talk about grief, I guess. Um, I was like grieving that I would have to work, uh, something that I wasn't like that passionate about. Um, and then discovering that I have a passion or things that I want to be doing. Uh, but at the same time, I have that grief that is like mixed with doubt and just problems with uh self-esteem, I guess, in a sense that is uh even though it feels like a passion, it doesn't feel like I have the means to do it. I just love it. I like to do it. But sometimes I feel like I have no skill to do it. Sometimes I have like a pretty bad case of brain fart of doing things that I want to be doing, but instead I just do other stuff. Or uh, but even if I have those moments where I feel like I need to, I feel like I step down a little bit. That feeling of commitment in a spiritual level, or more like a kind of a dirty level, it's still there, and I can't really stop looking at it. It's kind of difficult to not look at it, right? Almost feel like a calling of some sorts, but I don't like to say that because it's because then it just comes with an idea that I will fail that, and the first step of perhaps going through that is failing it. so so that brings me back to just draw because I have to stop worrying about it and stop expecting much from it, and maximize the time that I draw with intent. Of course, drawing whatever and drawing, just practicing without like any direction, and drawing the things that I want instead of drawing things that are constructive. I guess it's not a good idea. I've seen some cases like that. It's filled with those cases, but um, it's not like I'm immune to that as well, because I was like doing the grind, right? I was like doing an art grind. I wasn't making meaningful stuff, or I wasn't feeling like I was doing enough. Even though, looking back, I was like studying, right? Studying anatomy, studying things that I was like interested in, artists that I like, and it's not like I feel like I improved, uh, but uh, it's just like a very like slow change of the slow pace of change that I can't really perceive. But if I bring my old drawings there, it really feels like I changed a lot. Um, but no, I guess I kind of explained why I feel like just draw is a pretty good, uh, pretty good plan, because I feel like it kind of encompasses everything, uh, out of uh just having that envy and grief and fear of missing out and all of those problems of physiological problems, or having those buffs, is that I don't really um stress too much to to start drawing, I guess. It's just that I have to be mindful about um my dream pictures, I guess. Dream drawings. Dream pictures, more like my opus. Hmm. It's not like I want to be doing magnum opus, anyways. It's more like drawings that I care, I guess. with intent, intent of change. Intent to change, I guess. To change. So if I want to go with that, with this, I have to think about the drawings that I want to be doing and make an intentional, uh, like short, uh, short length, plan to change stuff. I guess, because just drawing will probably mean that I will be using the baseline of the skills that I have. And even though it's not that bad, even though I feel like most of the artists that I know already uses that kind of strategy, right? They have that baseline of knowledge that they use. Sometimes they have like some uh some strategy to fill the voids, like I don't know, using 3D or doing like a specific shading style that fills the gap of their knowledge or of the things that they usually or just do the way that they like, right? So, uh, but I feel like it doesn't really prompt you to change much, and I feel like to achieve something that is that you know that intention to change might be something that I have to look for, even though it's hard. Because it's just drawing feels like uh, I have a pitfall of drawing the way that I usually draw, which is not that bad, and I feel like I could be like successful in a way that is, drawing the flavor of the month, uh, anime girl, or um, drawing the whatever meme is popular these days, drawing porn, or kind of like that. But it's not like I'm really going through the ideas that I had. If I kind of lay on that, I feel like, even though there's a lot of things that I want to be doing that is like adjacent to that. Uh, so back then, I was like drawing fan arts, and I feel like fan arts, you know, on top of not having to think about the underlying idea of the character because it's already like planned ahead. Um, it was it's what's kind of nice to just connect with people because because they know the character and you know the character and then just resonate, right? Um, but that technique of creating a character that could could be relatable is probably the thing that I have to search that probably I wouldn't really find if I just draw, right? Maybe I could find that by just drawing and then realizing, oh, yeah, there's like this effect, this expression of the character that makes it pop, makes it just like them, right? Um, but it's not like it's intentional, right? It almost feels like a chance from drawing them that much, from drawing them a lot and just being in love with the character, but it's still a character that exists on the internet, or maybe they created an OC, right? Usually we have artists that made their careers out of drawing original character, uh, and one of them I really like them, Rosary. Uh, it's pretty nice to see how she developed that idea of her OC to what it is right now, right? And it really inspires me to think about uh, drawings that I want to make, or the representation that I want to be doing for the characters that I'm thinking about. So I feel like just drawing to find that inspiration, to find that character might be interesting, but at the same time I have to think about that, right? Because I don't really feel like I have that thing going on naturally for me. uh, so let's see. So this is the strategy that I might go for right now. Just drawing, just doing things for fun, because I'm still not, in that regular schedule of doing things. Uh, and oh, look at the time. It's already like an hour long, I guess. More than that, right? Yeah, it's already an hour long talk. So let's go with the other one, which is planning the study schedule. Might be off stream. That might be a better strategy for me um, right now, because streaming also takes a lot of mental effort to translate the things that I want to be saying in my head to, verbally doing that. Um and I still struggle with that. And there's also the problem that I'm already in a dorm, and there's like people trying to sleep or doing stuff, whatever. So uh, I don't think it's a good idea to be doing much of streaming right now, or just I have to come up with like a strategy for that. So, but for study or you know just playing with things, I could try to do that off stream. Um, but most of the things that I did back then on the art grind was studying, right? So I don't know. I feel like it's also quite helpful for people to just go through the study session and find something interesting, right? Or even to practice teaching for somebody that might be interested in some aspect of your study. But at the same time, it could be quite a routine that is like such a you just study instead of drawing the things that you want to be drawing. So um, I don't. I feel like I don't want to commit on a on a routine, and I'm just trying to you know get away from that, get away from the routine, because it's like it's getting too structured, and my way of drawing, the way of doing things, wasn't that structured. I was like free of to just spend like 12 hours on a drawing in a single day and not finishing it and finishing the next day and then not finishing next day. It was finished like like a week later. But now I don't have that luxury, nor I have uh, nor I have a energy to do it. So for now, there is also what I described here. Getting faster, right, was one of the objectives here. Uh, Developing the previous concept, working on one shot. artist breakdowns. What? So many things to expect, right? So, um, so maybe for now I would try to go with just draw. I'll try to schedule some stuff for studying on stream as well, but I have no idea. I have to log in and do research on my own. Uh, and hopefully it's not dropping frames. Anyways, all right. So the future, I'll try to describe the things that I was thinking about. Currently, this is quite important, right? Currently, I have like three projects that I was like planning. One of them is probably well known here, which is the project of that girl. This one, which has to do with parking lots, which has to do with uh, some other stuff that I that I wouldn't be able to explain here because it's such a mess, such a large project that I ended up thinking about, and it just stacked on top of each other. To the point of being like, wow, this is so interesting. I want to be doing that, but God, now I'm employed. I can't do it. But for this project in specific, that might have been the lifeline for this project. I guess getting employed, um, getting a job was probably the thing that would save me from would save uh from having no experience to talk about stories. I guess to talk about stories that I want to be talking about in this specific scenario. So I have to, I have to work. I have to, get that experience first, so I can make an assessment of it. But at the same time, I feel like it's a kind of a blessing in disguise, in that sense, because um, because yeah, I was like really struggling with the concept of adding more stuff in a way that is consistent, and the things that I was trying to add wasn't like uh, it wasn't like pointing to a direction. And I feel like a few months ago, I kind of found the direction of it. But at the same time, it's not that easy to execute, right? So I was thinking about making a story first, like describe it, because I don't feel like this one would translate that well in any like any media that would be like animation or like what animation or manga. I feel like it would be better if I make a kind of a visual novel idea. But that also takes time, right? I have to learn how to how to do that stuff, which is another thing that I want to be doing. But man, I don't have time to draw. Where we will find the time to do a visual novel, right? But that's my desire. So project one is a parking lot. Um, visual novel, active, um, strong, Butcher. And that's exactly the thing that I was like looking for. And another one, I don't want to be mm, I don't want to be talking about the other element because it's a pretty complicated one to explain, but yeah, this is the project. This is the first project, I guess. Just doing about a parking lot, trying to make a visual novel narrative with has like a strong identity. I feel like, and has like a almost like deals with like um unmet potential to describe this. Grief of unmet potential. I feel like most of the things that I want to be doing here is has to do with the grief of unmet potential, anyways. Because I feel like I relate a lot to this theme. But this one is the first one that I had that idea, I guess. Um, Second project is about it's about what mage mages rent venture one shot landlord. Is there anything profound for this? Honestly, I don't remember. Um, Found rent is expensive, I guess. Guess I just guess that's a definition. So this one is probably the funniest one. Also has the largest potential to be to finish it, especially when I have very few expectations on this, or I didn't think much about this. So that's why I was thinking about a one shot instead of like a visual novel or like narrative stuff. Especially when it doesn't have anything that deep to talk about. It's mostly just practicing the storytelling, I guess. That could be interesting for like a smaller scale project. Um, the third one would be music, uh, instruments, musical instruments. Um, Prison. Uh, Lapsing society. Um, what could I use here to define it better? Sacrifice of passion? Hmm. No, something more like sacrifice for passion? Oh, guess I have only three of them, right? Another element? Hmm. Could I add here? Collapse in society? There's like another one. Passage of time? That could be interesting. Reefs of time? The passage of time? Passage of time? So you can see that my themes here, my themes here are mm, quite sad, or things that are quite related to me right now. The grief of unmet potential. You can see that it's, you know, oh no, I'm not working on drawing anymore or doing my passion things. I have to work. I have to do the things life is demanding me to do stuff that I don't want to. Uh, Rent is expensive. Yeah. This I don't think this needs any explanation. Sacrifice for a passion probably has with with doing the things life demands you to do, or sacrificing some stuff to just you know do the do what you need to do, I guess. Because I feel like we have a lot of passions in life, um, but we also have a lot of expectations to that comes with that passion, right? And drawing is very interesting because I was like, doing all that rambling about just drawing, and we attached a lot of expectations to drawing. We need a career out of it. We need money from it. We need technical expertise from drawing, or just living in an ecosystem that has artists together, right? Or community. Um, but it's really difficult to have them what like all of them at the same time. and I can describe it as almost like a miracle to have them all at the same time. Uh, and like has uh has such a nice opportunity for people to have them. You know, imagine being talented, to have community that expects a lot from you. You have the means to do it, and you're already like set, pretty much like set to life in a life that brings uh joy to other people by doing things that you love. And that's I don't think that like 99.999 people have that. Probably they just construct that out of thin air, or just using the things that they have to achieve the thing, to achieve where they want to belong. But takes some time, right? But drawing is like, it's also such an activity that uh it's like that expectation, you can pretty much just give up on that and just draw, right? Just do the action of drawing and having joy of drawing that. And I feel like uh coming back after a while to stream again, to just, think about those stuff. Uh uh Mindset that I have here is mostly to, of course, I'm mostly just analytical. I have that analytical mind, uh, to just plan stuff, and I know that some people also have that type of mind, because I've met them. Um, but it's like kind of have to sacrifice most of that planning ahead ideas to finally bring action and committing to the failure of it. And I'm really proud that back then I was like taking on doing that project, right? The roadmap. I was grinding stuff for the sake of it. But then when I placed them in a roadmap with a time limit, when I had like fewer fewer moments to just finish stuff, I knew that I would fail stuff. I knew that I would fail my expectations. And even though that was kind of sad, that was kind of, kind of a suffering that was mostly just self-inflicted. Nobody said to just do a roadmap where you wouldn't finish your portfolio, right? But at the same time, it's like one of my most uh, proud moments in my life, just because it has such value to just committing to something and not being able to do it. But at the same time, knowing that most of it has been really meaningful in my life to create something that I wouldn't uh like ever. And I guess this time in this in this new chapter of this channel has to do with that, Um like I mentioned last stream, I was mostly drawing fan arts. My expertise is mostly just fan arts and doing that stuff. And doing that portfolio stuff was my first attempt on doing things for myself, or things that are like related to myself, and I wish to be practicing that, uh and having like the means to do it. So even though that's also an expectation that I have to work through, perhaps that's a better motivator in the long run. Uh, Especially when, now that I have, the current stats of being employed, having less time, I have to bring the attention to the things that I want to be doing, and just not try to delude myself into thinking that uh, having better having better techniques would solve the fundamental struggle of not really knowing what I want. And even though I still don't know what I want to be doing with all those projects that I was thinking about, uh, even though I don't have the means to technically, um, and like time management as well. I guess there's only way to find out, right? To just fail them again and again. And I feel like that's necessary. That's why I also explained here about sacrifice, the grief, because that's how I feel right now with my projects. So yeah, guess it's just drawing stuff. Hmm. So I have a few minutes here to draw something. Suck. It will suck. But I guess I'll just draw what I want to be drawing here. Honestly, the character again. Maybe I could color it. It's easier, right? Let's just color this. Let's just copy and paste on this one. I need to also practice to be faster. There's that. There's so many things that I want to be doing here. Makes me depressed, honestly. Too many things. I have to go through them one by one and just destroy them. Because there's no way I could be doing all of them all at once. But at the same time, I know that I'm capable of. But I don't want to be polluted by it. I feel like the hands could be a bit larger. Like the hands were a bit small when looking at the thumbnail. This is better. Hello, welcome. Well, you can watch my rambling that I did past hour or so, talking about my motivations and plannings. I didn't plan much. I just described everything that I want to be doing. Hopefully, the few years that I have to achieve them. But it's not like it's so uh permanent. I just want to keep drawing, I guess. And I feel like right now it's it's just a struggle to keep that commitment of drawing, I guess. To just stay on that. Because I guess it's getting way easier to uh stop, right? To just get on hiatus and never come back. But I'm back. I guess that's what's matter, I guess. What matters currently. Welcome back. Hello, Debate. Welcome. Thank you. And I hope I can stay drawing, even though it's a struggle. Hopefully, things will turn out well. I don't know. If life keeps getting harder to continue drawing, guess I just have to fall back into the moments when I have time and just sacrifice the expectation of achieving anything and just have fun. All right, so let me recap here. Have to end it soon. I guess I could try to overpaint later. Overpaint the things here. Um, Maybe remove the line art. But it's kind of too colorful. I have no idea how to describe it. Try to fix this, but saturation, I guess. It's less colorful, but at the same time, not really sure if that's following the reference. It's kind of following the reference, especially when her hair is supposed to be a bit darker. But like this, uh, bit better, I guess. I really like the new line art. It's giving me the painterly style vibes. Yeah, definitely. But it has to, you know, I definitely have to polish this, polish those edges a little bit. But I guess it's more like the facial feature that it's quite, uh, it's lined pretty well. So, uh, I guess I should make that more often to just make the face, line it, and make it pretty much ready to go. And then later just decide if it's better with line art or not, no line art, or just blend it. I guess just make a mask and start removing most of it. I guess kind of works, right? Like this, and just place them. Just keep them in the places where it needs contrast. That's something that I could try, like removing most of the line art with airbrush and then making the adjustments, overpainting the critical parts, I guess. Just that it's, I did that and I felt like I was like spending a lot of time, but I guess it's worth it. You just have to get faster at committing to it, because committing to it is the hardest part, right? Just making that change of erasing most of the line art and then painting over everything, especially when things are uh well well separated, because like everything is its own layer, the hair, uh the clothes, but uh this past this past couple of year I mean couple of years, I guess I just started merging most of it because I definitely need to simplify most of the process of making it. So yeah, now just draw. I have something else here to add, I guess. Huh. It's more like um I guess for now I just try to draw the ideas or just getting back to streaming. So um getting used schedule. Schedule and uh amount of time. Limited time. I mean, I finished this in like an hour, rendering a little bit. It's not perfect in any way, but it's faster, I guess, than I usually do. But I have to lock in. I have to just, think about the methods. Um, and I feel like back then, when I was like earlier in my drawing stuff, I spent a lot of time trying things. But I still don't feel like it's very comfortable with my process of rendering, especially when I feel like it's a bit too dark, it's a bit too light. Um, the line art is thicker, the line art is too thin sometimes. It's very inconsistent, and I don't really like it. Uh, so I wish I had made like an effort to solve that issue, but I remember that I was like working at a workflow, just thinking about the workflow itself, and it wasn't bad. But I feel like I'm forwarding everything. I don't even remember what was the process. The only thing that I remember these days is merging everything or separating the line art from the render color layers. Uh, but I could try to just merge and be like a bit more adventurous with that stuff, especially when uh, I have to deal with the faster methods or the methods that makes me commit the most, I guess. Uh, guess using uh, makes you commit the most. I feel like that's quite important to get faster. Um, no. a project. Hello, Gartalk. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for being here. It's has been a while, right? So yeah. So I was talking about my plans in this channel. Hope you watched my last stream, my my first stream actually. So this stream I was like talking about talking about my plannings or the things that are bound to change, and well, it's hard gravitate towards a project uh when do I even do that? Gravitate towards a project when I could do that right now, right? It's it doesn't feel like I need like any ceremony or like anything that indicates to me to make that project. Anyways, I guess just gravitate towards a project because it's easier. You're still alive. Exactly. So yeah, let's make the thumbnail. Thumbnail. So I need to just wait a little bit. So let's just recap. So I've been feeling so I'm grieving basically that I have a job. It's a good thing, it's a bad thing. Uh to the things that I want to be doing, it's kind of a hassle. But the things that I want to do is not very stable. So it's not like I can support myself with drawing, just drawing, you know. And it has a lot of issues with skill ceiling, things about uh, like the core value of the thing that I want to be creating, which has, you know, which is basically the average of what people are looking for when they're like going for an art career, anyways. Like it feels like most of the motivations from that area is mostly technical and also like like fantastically unreasonable to be achievable in any way, I guess, especially financially, right? So if you want to create like a best-selling novel or creating your own IP, it has like a very specific circumstances for, that has to happen for that to for that to just get into your life. And I don't feel like me just spending most of my time practicing just for practice to get good at drawing will actually lead to that. And I feel like most of my work has to be almost like going through trials in other areas so I can gather more experience to just tackle that drawing stuff in a different angle, I guess. Because well, if I went for a art career, it would be getting technically good and then going for a career that is basically just demanding me to draw for other people or to go for uh a specific call instead of my stuff, right? Um, So I guess I will be pivoting for just doing my own stuff on the side, which is harder, which is way more frustrating, especially time wise, because I don't have time for that, even if I want to. I don't have the energy, but at least I have the means to survive, I guess. And also the means to survive and spend my time doing the things that I want. Because I don't think I would have that if I worked commercially, anyways, in art. Um, but yeah, opportunities are quite scarce, anyways. So it's uh it's bleak, you know. But I don't think it's like a lost cause in any way. If people are like looking for an art career, and I feel like the effort, because I had a lot of, you know, uh, I I spent a lot of effort the past couple of years just grinding or being just drawing for a community and just doing that for fun, and that actually amount to something interesting, right? um but it has consequences, it has some sacrifices that sometimes it's difficult to just get to just grieve, I guess. But it's pretty nice that drawing has that quality that I just need to have a pen and just draw, uh, instead of things that are a bit more elaborated, like, I don't know, skydiving. Imagine if you have like a talent for skydiving, and then you have to hire uh hire a plane so you can skydive, whatever. That's something that you need a lot of money to do, I guess. But drawing is a quite of an accessible thing to do, and creating something that no one can pay me to do, or actually no one can force me to do, I guess, to just force myself to do it for myself, unless I just hire a mentor. That's something that I have to do it myself, right? Every day to get creative and just think about the think and act on the ideas that I want to be doing. Because even if I have a job, even if I work in the art industry, anyways, it's not a demand for me to speak my own voice, and I feel like um, currently in my own circumstances, uh, it's better to just gravitate towards a life that has like that effortful thing going on in my routine, that is working and also doing art on the side. It's hard, but you know, we'll be streaming every day. Uh, it's I'm not sure. I'm not really sure about that because I'm actually quite late. I need to end stream. Um, but I wish I could. I'm not really sure if I'll be able to because I don't have energy to do. I have a job that I have to keep, right? I have chores to do here at home. I have other things to attend. I'm not really sure how the job will go in terms of demand uh, and the things they need to do at home, whatever. Um, but it's not about me wanting that. It's about the demands of life, I guess. And the demands of life are sacrificial in a way. And I believe that there will be times where life will give those challenges and will demand you to do those things. But you can also choose your own path uh, by using those opportunities. And but to do that, you probably need to sacrifice a lot of things. Even though I don't want to sacrifice my sleep, but I'm currently doing so. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you for watching, everyone. Until next stream, hopefully drawing more instead of planning. I was like, listen, I was just listing the ideas. I was just talking my ass about about what I was like feeling about, but you know, it's not like it's not like I can add more to it. It's probably better to see what see what comes from it, so I can make an assessment if I'll be able to stream more, if I'll be able to even draw from after work or before work. I'm working, but I will stop by to say hi when you're alive. All right. Thank you. See you. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye. I think the stream dropped like a few times, but that's fine. If the quality is nice and the stream is going, yeah, that's fine. Thank you, thank you, everyone. Bye bye.